everybody, and welcome back to The Good Inn, a place where we like to look at the good in all movies. My name's Noah King, and today we're going to be talking about the new Toy Story 5. So let's take a look at the good in it. Alright, so not going to spend too much time here on the recap. It's kind of your stereotypical Toy Story movie, right? You're mainly following Jesse and the gang now, as Woody's still out there kind of as an outlaw toy, with Bo Peep, and they're kind of struggling technology. That's the new enemy. That's the new bad guy in this one. Specifically, this device called the Lily Pad, which is basically just an iPad, right? Or like a Leapster from back in the day or something like that, and it's kind of just taking over all the kids, kind of making them like, technology zombies. And we see Jessie still dealing with some of her old issues from the past and some of her past kids, because she mentions a lot that Bonnie's her third kid now. And so we see her and her journey from her first kid to now, and her and the rest of the gang as they figure out kind of how to get Bonnie back. Yeah, that brings us here to Toy Story 5. So now I gotta say, I'm one of those people. Look, I love Toy Story. I love them all. I grew up with them. I saw the third and on in theaters now. I love Toy Story. Always have, always will. However, I'm one of the people that I definitely rolled my eyes when I heard they were making a fourth, because I thought the third was perfect. I thought it was a perfect ending, perfect trilogy. I mean, I thought all three movies were just great. They ended it great. And now they're bringing them back for a fourth. So I was not too excited, and maybe because of all that is the reason why I didn't enjoy it. I was not the biggest fan of the fourth. I really was just not a fan of Woody staying behind. Right? He's not a part of the gang anymore. This group of toys we've been following, that was tough. That sucked. But that being said, I kind of after that wanted to see a little more, and I'm glad we did, right? Look, like I said, I think probably should have ended with the third, but they didn't. So how'd they do? Is there any good in it? And should be no surprise by now, I thought there was a lot of good in it. I really enjoyed it. I really did. First off, Jessie kind of leading the charge now here. She's she's our main character here. That's definitely who we're following throughout this story. She's now like the sheriff, right? It's not Sheriff Woody anymore. She is the sheriff, and she deputizes Buzz in this. So it's kind of the two of them. And we see Jessie kind of stepping up into that Woody role, and Buzz is kind of still just Buzz, right? He's kind of just the right-hand man, of the group. And that is cool to see. I do like that. I do kind of like the passing of the torch. And I also like that it wasn't Buzz that is kind of the leader. Like I said, Buzz is just Buzz, right? Jessie was kind of a deputy, and now she's the sheriff. That just worked for me. But at the same time, it's also cool to see that she through this like walkie-talkie they have set up, she's calling Woody for advice, just for help. And that's cool to see too, that she's still learning stuff. And I picked up on a couple like parallels where Jessie's just the first to freak out. She's the first to freak out about the kid not wanting to play with him anymore, kind of like we saw with Woody and Andy. So that was just really cool to see, and I liked that. Looks great. It looks really, really good. It's animated very, very well. We see a lot more people, I feel like, a lot more animals than we used to, and the whole world looks really good. I think sometimes you can do a little too much. Like, I think, just comparing how the kids looked in this compared to like what Andy looked like in the first movie, there's a huge jump. And I almost, I wish they, just with the people, maybe toned it down a bit. I get, just because you can make them look almost real, like ultra realistic, like doesn't mean you should. Sometimes you gotta lean on that old stuff that we like, just to look like the same universe and everything. But that being said, it looked really good. I mean, the people in this, like I said, looked great. The toys looked great. I mean, the whole movie looked really good. All right, so another thing here that I saw and I liked is, like I said, we're still seeing Jessie kind of struggling with stuff. We're still seeing her with like these like abandonment issues, I guess you could call them, right? She was introduced in the second movie, and we see that she's like claustrophobic and she's scared of the dark. She doesn't like being put away, and that comes from being like this collector's item and never leaving the box with Bullseye and Stinky Pete, I believe his name was. I don't know, but never leaving the box there, and then that also originally actually stemmed from her original kid, Emily, I believe her name is, and she was left and forgotten about under a bed for a long time, and then put in a box and donated, and she's still struggling with all that. And I like that too, that it's not just gone, right? I mean, it's part of her character, and it's still here 5 movies in, so that's cool to see. Like I said, the tech here is our main antagonist, right? And there's a couple different pieces. You got that lily pad, but then there's 3 other just tech toys, earlier tech toys for these younger kids, and she meets one of them after meeting this iPad, after beefing with this iPad. So we've already established tech is bad. We don't like technology. She's found this one toy, that this technology toy, and he finds some of his old technology toy friends, and they're all put away in a drawer, no batteries, they're all dead. And he's like, oh, you gotta help me get them. And Jesse says yeah, no way. That's just what we need, more technology. No way. We've had enough of you guys. And she goes to push the drawer back closed, and the guy is saying,
What? You're just gonna shove him back in the dark forever? Do you have any idea what that's like?
And you can just tell she's taking a second, because she does, and she lets him out. She gets him out. So that was just cool to see, because they do make up. They all become friends in the end, but not at this point. At this point, we're all still beefing. We're all still fighting each other, but she's not gonna put, even if it's her enemy at the time, quote unquote enemy, she's not gonna lock him away in the dark. She's not gonna do that to someone. So that was cool to see. While we're still on this topic of just Jessie and her long lost kid, she ends up back at her original house. She gets kind of dropped off there by accident, and her and Bullseye gotta find their way back. So now Emily, the child that originally had her, doesn't live there anymore. But it's the same house. She goes out by this tree. You've seen the tree in the second movie. Finds this old time capsule left behind by Emily, where we see that she never forgot about her, that she carved her name in the tree, that she has a picture of, now Emily's now a grown woman, and she has a daughter who she named Jessie. And on the back of this picture, she says to Jessie, you'll always be my cowgirl, or something like that. And then it just all kind of hits Jessie, the doll, oh wow, she named her kid after me, And man, that was a great scene. That was awesome to see. That was great. That's awesome. Just can't get over it. So good. Love to see it. Love the callbacks. Love just the healing of that, almost 3 movies later. Just great to see. Another thing I really liked is they, like I said, they do kind of patch everything up with the technology, right? It's almost difficult for me to say that this lily pad and this technology was the villain here, because and they were, especially this lily pad, for a majority of the movie. But by the end, she realizes ooh, I'm kind of in the wrong, right? I'm hurting Bonnie. I'm making this worse for Bonnie. And she kind of comes around and wants to help. But what do our heroes do? They welcome her. They help her. They go track this iPad down and save her, because that's what they do, man. I think other than that Stinky Pete or Sid, in the first one, that's what they do, right? They always help the bad guy. They help everybody, right? They help toys who needed help, whether they're good or bad or on their side or not, and that's cool to see too. They did it with Lotso, who didn't come around. He ended up backstabbing them again, but still, Woody went back to help him when he didn't have to. They did it with I can't remember the name of her, but the doll in the fourth one, in that antique store, same thing. She was this villain this whole time, trying to get Woody's voice box from him or whatever, and they helped her find a kid to go home to. Same thing here. So, like I said, that's just who they are, man. That's just what these guys do, right? And I liked that. Liked seeing that too. Woody even said something. He brings the iPad back to the rest of the toys. The classic gang, we all know, and they're like, oh, this iPad again. What are you doing with that thing? And he said, hey, she's with us now. Get over it. Throws her in the car, and they go to whatever's next. And once again, I love to see it, right? That they're just all still acting like themselves. It doesn't feel so different. It doesn't feel like they're just doing random stuff to do it. Great. I like seeing that. Another just cool thing I like is at the end they have we'll get a little more into this in a second. This like Buzz Lightyear like side plot, right? There's like I don't know, like 100 of these new Buzz Lightyear action figures, kind of with some technology in them, but they're like the new, upgraded, new and improved Buzz Lightyears, and there's like 100 of them I mean, that's how the movie opens. Like you see them wash on this island, and they're making their way back to the mainland, and then they're following these characters. So they're intertwined with the plot, and like I said, I'll get into that in a second. But basically, in the end, like they get this cool upgrade, and they kind of become drones, like Buzz Lightyear drones, and they're able to fly, and it was just a cool little comeback or callback scene of Buzz and Woody actually flying now together. They're actually flying, not just falling with style. But so that was cool to see too. I liked that. But yes, as far as this Buzz Lightyear side plot, that I kind of go back and forth with that, just cause like we have seen that. We've literally seen hundreds of other Buzz Lightyears in these movies, right? And trying to figure out which one's real and which one's not. So like I said, once I saw all that, and I remember seeing them in the trailer, like coming out of the water and stuff, but like once we saw them, I was a little iffy, because I was like, dude, what are you doing with this? Like, we have kind of seen this, and as far as the all the Buzz Lightyears there go, not incredibly original. Once again, I mean, I believe it was the second movie they did this already, but it was all right. I mean, it was cool. It was cool, and you needed them there in the end. Like, that technology is kind of like what saved the day, them being able to fly around and stuff like that. So that's, I go a little back and forth there. Lastly, I'll get more into just my kind of thoughts and opinions too, but just the last little good comment I had was, look, some people don't agree. Some people don't like this. I've already seen some people not liking it. Buzz and Jessie, they get married, man. They get married in this movie, which is crazy, and they share a kiss, which is crazy too. Look, I'm not a parent, so I don't know. I don't know how everyone feels. I'm watching this as a grown man who watched it his whole life. So like I gotta just stay with the story. Once again, I'm not a parent. I don't know how everyone will feel about that. I was okay with it. I was perfectly okay with it, and I. Just cause maybe it wasn't random. It wasn't just thrown in there or came out of nowhere or just done it to do it. Like, did Buzz and Jessie have liked each other since she showed up in the second movie, right? He's always, they've always had a thing for each other, and I personally thought that was really cool to see, right? I mean, I don't know, just Buzz finally getting the girl, man. I mean, it was cool. I was okay with it. I was happy with it. I don't know. It was really cool to see. I'm glad for both of them. I'm glad for the whole group. Like, once again, I get, where that could be weird for some people. They're toys in a kid's movie. Well, sure, but I mean, nothing crazy was going on, man. They had a quick smooch and they got married. Like, I thought that was cool. Yeah, that's pretty much all the main points I wanted to hit there. I did, I got a couple things here that I wasn't the biggest fan of. If I had like anything to say, my main thing is, other than you got Jessie and Bullseye through this, and then Buzz and Woody, dude, that's about it. I mean, as far as like the original cast of toys go, bro, they really didn't do a whole lot. And I understand that usually they do kind of just wait at home. They kind of stay back, and Buzz and Woody go do whatever, Jessie and Bullseye, there are kind of two different groups of toys. The ones that stay back, the ones that go get her done, sure. But I mean, dude, half of them didn't even have a line in this. Like, they were just there. And kind of in that like same vein is Woody. I mean, Woody wasn't in. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if like Bullseye had more screen time than Woody. And that's not a knock at Bullseye at all. I like him too. I like that character, that toy. But, I don't know. And like I said, I understand that it's not necessarily Woody's story anymore, right? The torch is kind of being passed, and I'm okay with that. That's good. That's a part of the good. But, I mean, come on. Yeah, I think he should have had a little more just because it's Woody. I mean, he's the GOAT, man. I don't know. But, I mean, that's I don't have a whole lot of negatives here, man. I thought it was all right. I was not expecting, like, as heavy of a message, at least that I got from this. And like I said, I'm not a parent, but like after watching this, I would probably, stop and think twice before just handing my iPad off to my kid or something. I I saw the trailers. I knew kind of the antagonist was going to be technology and this iPad, but I don't know. I wasn't ready for, just like I said, how kind of deep it was. Like, they really did kind of dive in on a lot of things, not just the whole like mindless technology zombies that like we've become and like that our young kids become, but they hit hard on the technology's kind of making them age quicker, right? I mean, usually a kid will play with toys till they're, who knows, maybe at 13, 14, sometimes maybe even a teenager, where now, you got the phones and the iPads and the social aspect of it too. I can't let them know I'm playing with toys and stuff. So now they're stopping at like 8 and 9, I liked that too. And that too, that, Bonnie was kind of bullied a little bit here, and not that that's a good thing at all, but it's good to see in movies. It is good to see how to react to that, how to deal with that. I thought they handled that really well. For as bad as a problem as that is, or bad as a situation as that is, well, they showed you, dude, don't worry about it then. Don't listen to those guys then. They're not real friends. Go find a real friend. That was all in this, and man, that was great. I wasn't ready for that deep of messaging. That was really cool. That was really great to see, and I think they did it very well too. So yeah, I would say all in all that I thoroughly enjoyed this one a lot more than the fourth. And I don't even think the fourth was that bad of a movie. Like I said, I think I probably was just a little salty that we're continuing, right? That we had this good ending and that we're just doing another one for the sake of doing one, for the sake of money probably. And hey, I'm not saying that's what number 5 was either. I mean, it probably was. They probably just did it again because they could, and they probably did it again because it's making money. But at least you actually put something good out there, right? With a good message, with a good story, with a good heart. I liked it. But let's see how much I liked it, right? Let's go to the good scale here. For genre, just as a kids movie, as a Toy Story movie, I gave it a 4. I once again thought it was good. I thought it really hammered down on some good positive messaging. I thought it was just a fun movie too. If you're not even looking for that, if you're not looking for this message of any kind, well, it's just a cool little adventure story with these toys that we all know and love. So I thought that was great. Got a 4 for me. Originality gets a 3. That's a pretty average number, I'd say, for my originality so far, just because, they've all been franchises. And I like the idea of the technology kind of now. I do really like that. At the same time, I feel like that's kind of the natural progression of things. Like, that's kind of, I don't know, you probably could have guessed that at some point this kind of movie was going to happen. Like, the first time I saw the trailer, whatever, and it showed the iPad there was kind of going to be the problem. Like, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, makes sense, So, and at the same time, like I said, it's kind of just your average Toy Story story, it really is. So, yeah, gets a 3 there for me. Overall enjoyment gets a 4. Like I say, pretty self-explanatory. Just how much did I enjoy it? A 4. I mean, it was good, dude. It was really good. Maybe not my favorite, but that's only because there's some really good ones. I mean, I don't even know. Number 1, number 2, and 3 are really good, But it's not my least favorite either. I thought it was really good. I had a fun time with it. I laughed a couple times out loud in the theater. I mean, it was great. It was a really good one. I gave it a 4. For delivery, same thing, gave it a 4. I thought it all just followed well. It all played out very well, smooth. And at the same time, I think they balanced a lot of things in this. I think there were a lot of characters, new characters. There were, more humans than we usually see probably. Different toys now spread out, kind of, 3 different locations really through this. I mean, no, I thought there was a lot in here, and then all the messaging too, like I was saying. They packed a lot in here, and at the same time, it didn't really feel like it. It felt smooth throughout, so, that was great too. Like to see that. That's going to give Toy Story 5 a score of 3.75 out of 5. And pretty good score, pretty good movie, man. I mean, it really is. It's cool to see that, this franchise is still going, I guess. If you're not going to end it, at least continue it with good movies, right? So I think that's what they're doing, and, you're not going to hear me complain. Like I said, maybe you shouldn't keep going after 3, but we're going. So let's see what we can do with it then, I guess. And look, if it's like this, if there's any more to come, I hope it is like this, because I liked it. I thought it was good. But I think that's all I got, man. That's all I got about Toy Story 5 there. So Yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. If you've seen it, if you haven't, I'd recommend checking it out. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun, and I don't know if there's gonna be a six, but hey, I'll be there for it, right? I mean, like I said, I've been following these toys since a kid, since I was, I think the first one came out before I was born. I mean, yeah, it's just a beloved franchise, and like I said, whether or not you agree that it should ended, should go on, I said I am one of the people who agreed it should have ended. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad movie then. Oh, well, they kept going and they should have stopped. And a lot of things do that, and a lot of things get bad. Well, not this one yet, right? I think this franchise is still all right. And like I said, whatever's to come next, I'll be there and watch that too. But I think that's all I got for this new movie Monday. And as you know, I'll be here Thursday for Throwback Thursday. So yeah, I think that's everything. So as always, Christ is King. God bless. Have a good one.